this is a difficult path to walk.
Mhm.
And I tell the church all the time, some of you do your pastors an injustice because you think that we should be perfect, but we perpetuate that because when we're in the pulpit, we're talking at you guys instead of to you guys. We're
Mhm.
telling y'all shouldn't sin. Well, we need to be saying we all shouldn't sin. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We are people, we are human, and things come at us just like they come at you guys. But so many pastors, and they want to seem perfect. They want to seem like they have all the answers. Here's the deal. I was a little bit intimidated to have this interview, Faith, to be very honest with you,
Mhm.
because I didn't know what you were going to hit me with. So
Uh,
that means that there was a chance I didn't have the answer. But
mm,
here's the thing. I'm not expected to have all the answers. So I said, I'm going to go to this interview. And what I don't know, I'm going to say I don't know. And give me just another quick second to back up on something. Speaking of times that we're out of pocket, last year at my daughter's school, you can cut me off in a car all day long. You can almost send my car on two wheels with me swerving to avoid you. And if my kids ain't in the car, I'll be okay. But if I have my kids or my wife in the car with me, it's a whole different ball game. So I was
right.
dropping my daughter off at school one day, and I live in Peachtree City. Peachtree City, and I'm air quoting, is an affluent town. I'm air quoting this because that's what the people here think, right? And but whether it's affluent or not, it's a very entitled place. Okay, everybody thinks they should get what they want, and everybody thinks that you should allow them to do the stupid stuff that they want to do. It's difficult being a teacher in this area because parents want all the rules bent for their child,
Oh, yes, yes.
regardless. So here's the deal: I was turning right into the school. A teacher coming towards us to make a left turn in the school went into my lane to circumvent a car in front of her that was waiting to turn and cut me off and almost hit my car. And my daughter sits behind me, so she almost hit the driver's side. I was
Oh,
furious.
God. Oh, my God.
So I pulled in to drop my daughter off and I waited for a little bit. I saw her park and she would not get out of her car. I was like, all right, good. So I pulled up like I was getting ready to leave and I saw her get out of her car. I pulled over, parked my car against a curve, and I saw her running up to the door to try to hurry up and get in.
Trying to avoid you. Mm.
Mhm. Well, I took a nice little jog with her. It was morning. I needed a jog. So I took a nice little jog with her. And I caught the door before it closed and I walked into the lobby of the school. And I am not happy with this lady. I am telling, I was like, what is wrong with you? Do you realize I had my child in the car? You're a teacher. You know that students can come out of anywhere. You did that. But I was loud because I was unhappy. And I'm pointing my fingers to the ground. Now she was at least 10 feet away from me, if not 15. So I made sure there was quite a bit of distance from, but I'm just, I'm like, what is wrong with you? I can't believe you. I'm a pastor. I talk with my hands, right? And so she says a few things to me. She's like, come in here. Let's talk about this. Oh, no, no, no. You got it twisted. I told you I'm a pastor. I'm just not passive aggressive. I'm not aggressive, but I'm definitely not passive aggressive. You can't just say crazy stuff to me. I was like,
Mhm.
do you understand that I'm an adult? You don't tell me to go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere with you. And so we have a little back and forth. And so finally, I asked someone, I was like, what is her name? And, the teacher didn't want to get involved. I was like, look, you know her name. All I'm asking you is what is her name? So she told me the name. We had some exchange. The lady goes on. Now, I used to be PTO president at that school, the only ever male and the only ever black at that school to hold the office of PTO president. I'm sorry, I was president of the PTO. I started the Watchdog Dads community there. I've held several offices within the school, as well as been on several boards with the superintendent of Fayette County. So I am really known in this county. I mentor kids at McIntosh High School. My daughter just started a Bible study in the sixth grade at Booth
Wow.
Middle School. I was so proud of that. But
Wow.
I ran for city council, and I'm very known in this community. So I wasn't going, the principal wasn't there. So I spoke to her assistant, not the assistant principal, but the principal's assistant. And I told her the story. And I was like, make sure you tell Mrs. Boyle the story, because I'm sure she'll probably hear it differently. Now, let me just back up a little bit. That was Mrs. Boyle's first year there. And so the superintendent asked me to be on a panel to search for the principal. And so he tells her once he makes the decision, he says, you need to call Mr. Bryant. Talk to him before you get there. He knows the school, the parents trust him, the teachers trust him. He'll help you navigate. And she calls me. I was on the way to take my son to all-star baseball practice. She calls me. We talk for about 20 minutes, have a great conversation. So now we get back to the day all this happens. So I was expecting a call from her because I asked her assistant to have her call me. So phone rings. I see it's Fayette County School Systems. I pick up the phone. She says, hey, it's Principal Boyles, Mr. Bryant, and just kind of wanted to talk to you about what happened earlier this morning. And she was pretty direct with me, telling me that, hey, we have certain codes of conduct here. And, if those codes of conduct are not met, then, here could be the penalty. You could be not allowed on campus anymore, XYZ. And me thinking, I'm like, all right, well, maybe she doesn't remember, that we've had conversations before, but I wasn't going to tell her that. I didn't say a word to her. And
Mhm.
so she told me that the teacher told her that I threatened her and made her feel uncomfortable.
Threatened, yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
it made her feel threatened and I was aggressive.
Mhm, mhm, of course.
And I said, in no way did that happen. And she said, well, we have the tape. We have it on video. And I asked Officer Smiley to review it. I said, oh, okay, cool. I said, well, then this conversation's over until I can come and see that tape. So she said, when would you like to come? I said, can I come in the morning? She said, absolutely. And
Mhm.
we got off the phone and my heart dropped because I was like, what if I was the person that they said that I was? Then I got to eat some serious crow, but I could really be in some trouble too. And I was kind of not excited about walking in there and see, but I didn't feel like I'd done anything wrong. And
Mhm.
when the principal told me, Officer Smiley, who's a resource officer, a true Peachtree City Police um, Department employee, he's a cop. When she said Officer Smiley had reviewed the tape, I said, okay, cool. See, Officer Smiley is Paul to me. He lives in my neighborhood and he's known me for years. And the fact that he didn't call me let me know that I might be all right. But still in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, this is on tape.
We're
And
nervous.
y'all get to see me
Mhm.
when I'm not aware of what I'm doing, right? So I get there the next day, we watch the tape. And I said, before we talk, I said, can we watch this again? It was only about 2 or 3 minutes. So can we watch this again? Because I want to make sure I saw what I think I saw. She said, sure. She rewound it back and we watched it. And I said to her, now what about that says that I was aggressive and threatening? We don't have audio. We have clear video. There's 15 feet between us.
Mhm.
If I wanted to do anything physically to her, I couldn't. We were that far apart. I said, yes, I was loud because I was not happy. I said, but did she say I cussed at her? No, she didn't. Did she say I threatened her physically? Well, no, she didn't. I said, then help me understand what part of this is threatening and aggressive. And she said, well, you were gesturing your hand sharply. I said, and what law did I break for that? I said, I could literally sit on a jury stand and testify and do
Mhm.
that, and it wouldn't be breaking the law. I said, I may irritate the judge and he may ask me to stop, but I wouldn't be breaking the law. You need to help me understand what's threatening and aggressive about that. I put it to her about 2 or 3 ways and she couldn't address it because it wasn't there. So on the
Mhm.
time she said to me, "Mr. Bryant, I'm sorry. I know you have a great reputation in this community, and I surely hope I haven't burned any bridges with you. Here's the deal. She is a new principal, trying her best to ride for her teacher and to back her teacher. Her teacher was dead wrong. And what I told her, I was like, you have a video of me doing this, but what do you have a video of her cutting me off and almost wrecking into me and my daughter? Because that's what caused all
So
of
that's
this.
what's right.
They didn't have that on video. And I said, I have been in this community a very long time, and I take my name and my reputation seriously, which is why I wanted to come see this. I said, there's nothing about this tape that I'm ashamed of before my God. There's nothing about this tape that is criminal. There, there's nothing about this tape that we really need to discuss further. And she apologized again. And we left it at that. Her daughter and my daughter are now very good friends. Pretty soon they're going to be back and forth at each other's house. So I let that go. There were no grudges there, but I also had to stand up in a situation for myself that I knew that I was right. I knew I hadn't done anything, and I wasn't going to let her tell me I did anything when we got tape right there that says, no, he didn't. That lady pulled a Karen. And even the principal said, well, Rick, she said, Mr. Bryant, do we all need to get together so we can sit down and talk about this? I said, no, because our opinion's not going to change. You see, you can take a fight too far. You can go too far trying to do. I proved to the principal, who had told me that if my behavior continued, I'd basically not be able to come on campus.
Wow.
So I proved to her that that was non-existent. And what I was honest with her about, I said, none of this, I said, none of this better trickle down to my kids. If it trickles down to my kids, we're going to have a different problem, but we'll discuss this in a different setting. And she said, I will assure you that it won't. Okay, cool. Me sitting down trying to talk to that lady that wanted to accept zero responsibility for doing something that was extremely dangerous would have been a zero-sum game. Sometimes you got to know when to just let it go.
Pick your battles.
I did what I needed to do. I proved to the person that it truly counted that I didn't do that. So what a whole bunch of other ladies in that school think and say, and things have shifted. I walk in sometimes, or at least last year I did, and you could see teachers that were very friendly with me before drop their heads, won't speak to me. Look, as long as he's speaking to me, and the one over there in the bedroom speaking to me, everybody else, it is what it is.
It is.
Don't bother me that much. But yeah, that's kind of that process. But